All right. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. This is our seventh episode, our seventh installation, Co Brothers Taekwondo podcast. Thank you for joining us. And you've been with us this far. We're talking about a little bit commitment. Um, Commitment is a big thing. It's very, very important, obviously. If you don't commit to anything, you won't get anything accomplished. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to pass the mic over to Will. Will, I'm going to ask you what are some things that you've committed to lately?
Specifically with commitment, this business, the school, y'all, work. That's basically it. Um, One thing we should bring up real quick is we only have one mic today, so when you see us passing it around, yeah, we're passing it around.
All right, and I'm guessing I'm answering the same question.
Yeah. What are some things? What are some things day to day throughout the week that you are committed to doing?
Probably the same thing. I get here every day at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. 3 a.m. is something else. Usually I'm committed 3 p.m. here, uh, making sure that all of my students have the best curriculum. I'm teaching the best stuff. It's not just them being here. Other things I'm committed to, of course, is I have a girlfriend and I have another job on top of this. So making sure everyone's happy and not angry at me is something that's important to do, as you of all people should know.
Well, yeah. That's good stuff. So we all got those things going on. I counting this job, my other job I'm committed to my relationship with my wife, committed to raising up my son, um, committed. I can't say I make it to church every week, but I try and make it to church every week. Um, that also comes along with another handful of commitments. But yeah, there's a lot of things, that we find ourselves that we want to dedicate ourselves to. It's very important, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit. We have some questions, kind of prepared for us by our producer,
Miss Melanie,
Miss Melanie.
you seen her last week on our last episode?
Yes. She made an appearance, right? Did you make an appearance?
She just said something over the mic.
Oh.
I said something very slight.
Yeah, you guys will never know what she looks like.
The first question that we have prepared is, what does commitment mean to me beyond words?
What does commitment mean to us beyond words? Okay. Anyone want to take this? You guys want me to start it off? Will, I'm going to pass this to you.
So, like for me, with commitment, that's like beyond words. Would be like with great example would be you two guys, especially with you guys showing up here essentially every day to train our students, and essentially even like I know you both have had both days where it's been a little rougher, lack of motivation or just general fatigue, right? And you guys still manage to show up here smiling and happy and just putting your best foot forward, right? And it's not even so much that maybe like the students and the families and the parents maybe don't see it because they don't see you every day like I do and hear from you every week. But the commitment I see from you guys is like outstanding, very outstanding. So that's how I see commitment without, words essentially. That you guys show up, you smile, you make sure all the students are having the best time ever, that they're smiling and that they're learning every day in some fashion or another.
I'm gonna piggyback off that. That the actions that one takes place, for me, is the substitute for words. So if you're gonna try and communicate something without words, it's through your actions, showing that you're committed to showing up every single day consistently on the days that you said you were going to commit to doing. If there was even one day where I was just like, no, I don't really feel like doing this today. I'm tired and whatever. With the exception of the one time I called in sick. I was feeling very, very, very nauseous, and that's only because I didn't want to get anyone else sick. Other than that, you show up, you put in the work, and yeah, it has to be through your actions, essentially. So yeah, um, yeah, Master Mike, I'm gonna pass this one off to you now. I don't know if you want to touch on that.
I mean, I can touch a little bit on it. What you two said was perfectly nailed it. Best way to look at it, because not everyone has commitments, you know, especially with a lot of our students being on the younger side. Then, you know, some of them, your students have jobs, right?
Yes,
But do all of them?
no.
No. What commitments do you think they have?
What commitments do our students have?
Yeah, like for most part, for a kid, they got chores, homework, sleep. They don't have a set commitment that they made for themselves.
They commit themselves to their video games.
They do. They do.
As do both of you. Though
True.
let's not throw our students under the bus. You both play video games.
Oh, right,
quite
yeah.
regularly.
It's true.
It is true. But the best way because not everyone knows how to describe commitment. You know, the commitment is like full on 100% one thing. We're here a lot, but we're not 100% here. We wish we could, but we have commitments otherwise because we need to. So, what I would say commitment is almost like a self-promise.
Right.
Are you going to be committed to doing 10 push-ups a day? You want to be fit? You can't just do it, one class a week and you're committed. You can't just go to, for students who come here, yes, you're committed if you come here for us, if you come here to the school and participate, but in a way you also have to be committed to yourself by practicing at home, working out at home, doing the motions. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but yes, that's how I put commitment.
Agreed. And then, like going kind of back what you said about like the students, I don't even think it's more of the fact that they're lacking commitment. I think it's just something new. Because, like you said, like they have school and their homework and just their general like what their life, especially with like our age category of our students, especially since couple of our students, two of them are under the age of 6. So it's not really, I wouldn't say that's not fair, but that's like, what 5-year-old has a commitment? But in terms of like what 5-year-old has a commitment, we are teaching them commitment. We're teaching them that like, hey, you show up every week, twice a week, or however many times they come, and say, look, you're training and you're working towards your next rank, your next step in your milestone here at our school. And we're instilling them the fact that they have to show up, they have to act a certain way, they have to show discipline, they have to be loud, they have to listen to what's been told by you or you. So now with our older students, yeah, it's difficult because a lot of our other students do other sports. But like, if anyone should understand that, it'd be us because we all have a second job, or our first job. You want to consider this a second job, and then with us adding in more things every week, especially with now us doing more with our YouTube and Instagram, it's difficult, right? Like, I think it's honest to say that this week has been a little rough for us with the fact that you were sick, you had something to do with your other job. And so us having to finagle how to make what is our commitment work, right, into the school without making like, saying, oh, Instructor Joseph, you were sick and you didn't show up. Are you showing commitment? No, you were still doing it. You know how? Because you let us know. You're like, I can't make it in today. And you gave us adequate time to like prepare and work into it. Same thing with you. You gave us more than enough time to plan and be prepared. Right?
Right.
So that's my thoughts on that.
There you go. And I feel like you also need to have a reason to commit to something. You don't just commit to things just for the sake of committing to things. We all have something that we want to achieve. And if you're going to commit to something, it better be because you have something that you want to achieve that requires you to dedicate yourself to this and commit to this. It's because not just to do it. I mean, yeah, sometimes committing yourself to doing something for fun, like playing video games, that can be a thing. But commitment, I would say, is at its best when you have something to really struggle with. And you struggle with it, and it can feel like a struggle, or it could feel like work, or it can feel like, it's requiring something of you. That's when commitment really, I feel like, is rewarding. We talked a little bit about today about the Tiny Tigers class. Tiny Tigers is teaching toddlers. For anyone who knows anything about teaching, and anyone who knows anything about kids knows that teaching toddlers requires a special, it just requires a special amount of, I'm going to use the word, commitment. And you have to think about what you're doing and be very intentional and engaging. But when you commit yourself to teaching a toddler Taekwondo, it's very, very rewarding.
It's got to be the same with your acrobatics and parkour and gymnastics class, though, because you have a student who's under the age of 8.
That's true.
So it's got to be different with, like, I completely forgot about the mic.
Okay, I was just holding it.
And just remembering how, like, when we first started striking, me and Micah, and we were teaching, how many students do you think we were teaching in total?
In total, or are we just talking about the Tiny Tigers?
Just the
class?
Tiny Tigers.
Tiny Tigers alone was 20 strong on a good day.
Yeah, and like us cycling through essentially what it was, 20 toddlers, and being what, 13, 14?
About.
Yeah, there was some rough days, right? But like it's enjoyable. Like you get to learn how they all act and like seeing how like they grow as a little person, right? Seeing like they can stand still without being told to. They know exactly how to do their forms, to do their kicks and everything else. It is rewarding seeing like the growth over the course of months and years.
100%. Like you said, it's just rewarding seeing them grow. I have a prime example. You all know Liam.
Yes.
I've known him since he was 3 and a white belt. And he, not to remember, he has some physical issues. And they were a big problem when he was younger. It wasn't on his part. Some physical issues that were happening with him. He's stuck in it for essentially now 8 years. 8 years, and I've seen him improve from white belt to where he is now. So it is 100% rewarding seeing them grow from the beginning.
And he's a black belt now,
He is a black belt.
And he's won tournaments, hasn't he?
He's won many. He's done 5 sparring tournaments, and he's won 4 of them.
So very rewarding.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask our producer, Melanie, would you mind hitting us up with our next question?
Yeah. The second question is, are you guys consistent even when motivation is gone?
So that question is, are we consistent even when motivation is gone? I'm just right off the top I'm gonna say yes, just because I haven't exactly been experiencing too much of a lack of motivation. I mean, obviously, yes, some days are more difficult than others, but with what we've got going on here is so, I almost want to say inspiring. Any lack of motivation, whether it was from just being uncertain how we're going to get all this started, to what is my role, what exactly is my role going to be played in this in the future, just trying to figure that out. Besides that one day I wasn't able to make it because I was feeling nauseous, I've basically been able to come to everything. Slowly been trying to increase more as well, which in my opinion, that's where I'm having a bit of a challenge, is just continuously dedicating myself to increase the work that I'm doing here, whether it's more on my part, just getting better at an acrobatics instructor, actually doing the workouts. But now my challenge is actually just learning Taekwondo and just learning the sport and getting better at it. So this way, eventually, I will also be able to. I don't know if I'll ever be able to be as good as you guys at teaching Taekwondo, but that's my goal, to be somewhere along there. So,
Do you
yeah.
mind like telling us a little bit about your journey so far in Taekwondo, like some things you've learned?
Right. So what I've learned through Taekwondo, um, one of my favorite things, I'm going to go ahead and start off with one of my favorite things to learn. I think I might have mentioned this in a previous podcast. I don't know, but one of the things that Master Micah taught me that I thought was exceptionally cool was just how he got me to get my kicks to be faster, and just showing me the right techniques onto being faster has been really, really, really cool. But going through the motions and starting out as a white, not as a white belt, but essentially as a white belt is humbling. But I love it so much. I don't care if I'm a level 1. I'm just about a level 2, so I'm about to level up here. But the journey so far has been a lot of fun for me. I enjoy this a lot, and kind of actually seeing where and when I could potentially, hopefully, become a black belt is really cool. A little intimidating because I'd like to do it quickly. Hopefully by next year, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. So if my journey has been really, really cool, kind of just starting out, but very excited to see where I go from here. What was the question? I'm gonna pass this on. I'm gonna pass this on to Master Micah.
Could you repeat the question though?
Are you guys consistent even when motivation is gone?
It's real hard to. I will admit, it is hard to. With Taekwondo, it's a little different. That's when I'm always stay consistent. It's hard not to stay. It's hard not to stay consistent here. With my other job, it is a little harder. I still will show up, but it's really hard, especially because I had to get up at like 3 a.m. in the morning. So if my days would usually look like 3 a.m. I wake up, and then I'll do that. I'll work there. I'll get home. I'll have like an hour, maybe hour and a half ish to rest, just to relax. Then I'm back here. So my days can sometimes look from 3 to 9, basically. So it's hard to stay committed because that's the multiple days like that. It's like I'm going to forget about dinner. I'm just going to sleep and guess I got to do it again tomorrow. There are days I don't want to go work in the morning, but I've had long background, as you probably know by now. I've had long background in Taekwondo, and just the teaching that our Grandmaster gave to us was really like with Grandmaster Joan, you would say the teaching, the kind of philosophy she gave to us was those who like how do I say, like, relaxing is good, but those who wait around do nothing, they're wasting their potential. Would you say that?
I agree.
That's kind of how she kind of drilled it into us. If there's time for stuff, you would do it. It's nice every now and then to have a day off. Like, for most part, Saturdays are my big rest day. Wednesdays are sometimes. Throughout the rest of the week, do I want to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Are you a morning person?
No. I am not a morning person.
Like actually, I wouldn't say like you're not showing commitment in like your job, because you're still showing up, and you're, based on what I've heard from other people who worked with you at your other job, that you're still showing up with a smile, and you're still taking the best part of your day, and you're still giving it 100% energy. So I would still say yes, you're still staying committed even though you lack motivation, because right, like you essentially work 3 a.m. to what is 7:30 p.m. from that job to this job, with only maybe an hour and max rest. So I would say you're doing great. like I said before at the very beginning of the podcast, like you both are showing amazing commitment to this venture that we're taking together. And yeah, I see nothing to disprove what my initial beliefs are in both of you. Especially like you guys, you both show up very, very motivated to this, even though like sometimes maybe you're not. But that is what commitment is. Commitment is staying true to like that one path. And last week we talked about consistency and leadership, and you both been doing that. So
But no, that just wraps it up. That basically wraps it up for me, though.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that or ask for it, and just kind of piggyback off that one more time before we get to our next one. Because obviously everyone's gonna face a certain amount of being unmotivated at certain times, or just having less motivation to do anything, whether it's anything you're committed to. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when are you going to be hit with a wave of perhaps maybe distress. And it's going to happen at some point in your life. It might not happen at your job, but it probably will. It will probably happen in your day-to-day relationships with people. Sometimes your relationships with people can be stressful. There are certain people, like perhaps people that you work with, that can really make it feel like they just suck the life out of you. Like there are just people who can push buttons, and it's like, yo, you are making it really hard for me to show up consistently here at my job and have a good attitude. Not here, not this job, but in other jobs, there are people who come in unmotivated and their attitudes rub off. And sometimes it's like, instead of going, man, your attitude stinks, now my attitude stinks. No, try, because if you know that their mood is affecting your mood, reverse that as quickly as you can and go, hey, I see you're not having a really good day. Is there anything I can do to make your day better? And even if the answer is no, just by you trying, you can make their day better, and helps you make your day better. And yeah, it all kind of gets recycled. Anything else you guys want to touch on that one before I ask the next one?
I'll touch on that one a little bit.
Okay.
So, like when it comes to being like committed to a job outside of something we like to do, mainly this, right? Because like we have full control of how we run things here, which isn't something that most people get, right? Like yes, I am essentially what is your guys' bosses, but I tell you guys, you are your own bosses when it comes to how you run the mats with your students. Most people don't get that at their regular jobs. Most people, when they go to a job, they're thinking, what am I doing here? I'm getting underpaid and overworked.
Unappreciated.
Exactly, unappreciated. Why am I here? They lack the motivation and the commitment of like, oh, I am making money. I am trying to improve my life and doing X, Y, through Z. So I get it. It's very hard to do a job, especially like a lot of people, like when you're younger, right? Everything you're told is, oh, go live your dream. Go get that dream job of yours. Go to college. Go to the military. Go to trade school. Go have a career. And a lot of people get stuck.
They don't feel like they're living their dream.
Exactly, right? And
people say that sarcastically.
Oh, yeah. I say that so whenever I go to work, there's this one gentleman at my job who works for the company, and every time I see him, he asks me, hey, Will, how are you doing? And I say, living the dream. And I've been saying that to him for the past 6 months. Every time he sees me and he says, hey, Will, how are you doing? And then I'm about to say my line. He says, living the dream. And I say, I need to change my line. But I've gotten into such a habit whenever I see him that I say that. It always gets a laugh and generally brightens my mood. But I go to work generally happy. I like my jobs, which I know most people can't say about, but I do enjoy my jobs. So I've been very lucky with that. But going back to like the idea of being stuck, right? When I was in the Marine Corps, I felt very stuck initially when I got into my my job. It wasn't what I expected to be doing in the Marine Corps, and I did not feel committed. I did not feel motivated. I felt exact opposite of both.
You signed the contract.
I did sign the contract. Best and worst decision of my life, right? Like I love the Marine Corps. I love the Marines who I've served with. They're amazing people, but just
what did
me.
you do when you felt that?
I made unwise decisions with my life.
Okay.
But in doing that, I learned that it was me making the decisions, right? Everything that I did that wasn't what I should have been doing, I had to do a lot of self reflection. Say it's me making these choices. So when I got out, I said I'm not going to continue to do these things. I'm gonna do my best to avoid them and try to be better, which included starting this business with you guys and try to make the best decisions for you and Micah.
We're gonna have to have a whole nother podcast just on taking responsibility.
Oh, 100%.
But we're not doing that today. Melanie, can you give us our next question?
What are you willing to give up to stay committed?
What am I willing to give up to stay committed? Wow,
Sleep.
that's
Sleep.
yeah, sleep.
That is the number one thing I think I've been giving up weekly or daily.
I mean, we give up a lot. Time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, time is your most valuable resource. So time is always, of course, a factor. But then you have to take the time because you're sacrificing your sleep. You're taking the time that you would have normally spent sleeping.
I do like sleeping.
I have a hate-love relationship with sleeping. I really wish I didn't need to do it.
We are on the opposite side of the fence, my friend.
I'm gonna go. This is a big one. I'm gonna go ahead and say family time, because this is technically time I could have spent, just I don't know, hanging out with my wife or my son, but I'm not. I'm taking this hour out of, we only do this once every 2 weeks to have a podcast. It's like, hey, take an hour to do this. It's like, yeah. Oh, but I could be at home making dinner or doing this or whatever. It's like,
Yeah, but I think we have like an understanding that everything we're doing right now is to better things in the next couple years, right? Like with the business, either helping improve other people's lives or I keep forgetting about the mic, improving our students' lives just by giving them some sort of goal and steps while here, giving ourselves the motivation and to keep going and just be better people, try to do better in the world. And yeah, no, I think, and it's very difficult for you. Like I said, like you both have done very commendable things when it comes to this business. You sacrificed a lot, right? And it's honestly, I would say it's more difficult for you because like I have Micah being my brother here, so I like whenever I'm here, it's like okay, cool. I'm still spending time with essentially what is part of my family. Now in like personal relationships, like yeah, that takes a toll, but we're working towards something better, and that's what gives me motivation to keep going. Some days it's like I want to sleep another like 6 hours, especially now. Like right now in Illinois, it is snowing.
it's still coming down.
Yeah, it's still coming down, and it's cold, and people are getting sick.
And it's been snowing all morning, just for clarification. It's been going all day, and right now it's 6 p.m. And what time is it?
6:05.
6:05. So it's been coming down. Yeah.
Yep. And it is a lot. So like everyone's getting sick, everyone's cold. So but we're still here
Oh yeah.
doing our thing. And myself and Instructor Joseph were here this morning. Instructor Joseph was doing classes and I was doing some office work. And Master Micah had the day off. So your turn.
Yeah, honestly, one thing I would sacrifice, it was sacrifice for commitment, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
People are going to hate me. They're going to think, why is he choosing this? Money. Yes, it's nice getting paid to do this. I use quotes because we're not really getting paid yet. But even if we were getting paid, if I had to, I wouldn't. Again, Yuval, I'd say Yuval, but most likely people watching this don't know this too much. I've been doing this since I was 9 when I started. I've been teaching since I was like 12. I didn't start getting paid till like 15.
Yeah.
So I had like 5 or 7 years. You're so mad. I didn't say the thing. 5 or 7 years
6,
where.
7. Sorry. I had to do it. I'll shut up.
5 to 7 years of me teaching classes. And this isn't just like a, hey, you want to volunteer for this class and next week you get class. No, this was 5 days a week, 3 or 4 classes a day, and 3 of those days we had a special team class. So that was even more commitment and like attention I'd have to give. I've been doing that for 5, 7 years. 365 times 7 is a lot. Before I was given the opportunity saying, "Hey, Micah, would you like to get paid?" I'm like, that's an option.
Say that meme, you're getting paid.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was funny when I found out he was getting paid before me when we were both teaching. Because I was like, wait a minute, pause.
All right, just a clarification. I was the head instructor of the school, and Michael was the junior. I was teaching him how to instruct.
Yeah.
And when he finally, actually, I think Grandmaster Jung, I think she asked me if you were ready to like start teaching by yourself, and that's when she started paying you.
Oh.
I think she only asked me this once. I was like, yes. But the problem is when it came time to start paying him, my paycheck got cut in half. So I went making, I don't remember how much. It wasn't much, but whatever the amount it was, it got cut in half. So that way she could afford to pay both of us. And it was not a lot. But to be fair, we were both, well, I started getting paid by her when I was 14 to
What
run
was the
classes.
minimum that she paid you? Alone. Like, do you remember when it was just you being paid?
This is between $400 and $800.
Okay, well, I just got a big buff when you left then.
How much were you
'Cause,
making?
when I got paid when we both started teaching was 1K. And then when you left, it was 2.
Oof. I was not getting paid. Maybe I was more than that. I don't.
Yeah, I was like,
It was
I
probably
think
more
you
than that.
were
I
paid
don't
that.
remember. This was a while ago. This was like almost 7, 8 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, it was like 7 or 8 years ago. So forgive me if I
think
don't remember the
you
amount.
would've undercut you of all people.
Yeah, so she was paying me what? She was probably paying me a little more than that.
I
So
feel like she was.
maybe I don't remember. But to be fair, I started getting paid when I was 14. She started slowly raising like the amount she was paying me per month, like for a year. So it might have been like around $1,000, and then she split up between us. I don't remember, but it was a while ago.
So you guys have been doing this with your kids.
Yes.
Yes.
In other words, I'm gonna try and add a little bit here to because you brought up money, and that's huge because money drives people.
It very much does.
And obviously we want to do this for a living, but as of right now, we're not worth millions. We're just not. And
We're not.
no.
Oh no.
and well, I could spend this time working a different job, making a lot more money. I could, but I'm not because that's not where my priorities are. My priorities are here doing this, influencing the next generation to grow, to help them grow, to be strong, and to teach them about commitment and discipline and family and honor. Those 3 main tenets that we're kind of instilling into them is so much more worth it to me than a big fat paycheck. It's like, do I need to live? Yes, I need to survive and I need to provide for my family. But at the end of the day, this is so much more worth it to me than money. I mean, we're over here sacrificing years of our life in training, in whatever, or not just our personal training, but even in the other kids to grow the program into something that, I mean, hopefully eventually we will be making a little bit more. But as of right now, that's just not the immediate priority. And so we are sacrificing this. That's one of the things you're going to have to be willing to do. It's going to require blood, sweat, tears, and lack. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm going to give that to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like we're MCs sometimes now that we're passing a mic around. But like going into like what is essentially like the sacrifice you're talking about of just like time, money, and training and all that stuff spent. Like it's crazy just to, like even to see how far we've come since we opened back in October. Just the growth we've done in essentially what is November, December, January in 4 months. And just seeing how our progress is going and then is continuing to go. So, yeah, it's crazy.
This has cost you quite a bit.
Yeah, it's cost me quite a bit. We're not going to say how much, but it's cost me quite a bit.
Pretty penny.
It's cost me a pretty penny.
It has cost you.
It has cost me. But well worth it. because even though like I just say that like in the Marine Corps I wasn't happy. It was when I was a kid I wanted to be in the Marines, right?
Mhm.
And told you guys that. Now viewers know that. I wanted to be in the Marine Corps since I was 5 years old, and that was like my lifelong dream.
Hmm.
And then when me and Micah were essentially, kids and teaching, being like, "Oh, we can own our own martial school. We could do this. We got this." And then life taken away and being like, "Oh, I gotta go do something after high school. I can't run martial arts school. What am I thinking?" And then join the Marine Corps, and then that not essentially panning out as a career for 20 years. Then coming back home and me talking to Mike being like, "Oh, dude, what's up with you?" He's like, "Still teaching Taekwondo." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And him telling me, he's saying like, "Oh, the school that I was training at basically let me go, and they're about to, go out of business. We got like 6 months to, figure this out." And I'm like, "Okay, we can do this in 6 months. That'll give me enough time to like save a little money, and then, maybe we'll both work and we'll save money and we'll go into this together." And then, like I said in the last week's podcast, where it's like, "Nope, we have a month."
Yeah.
We have a month. And then me being like, "Oh, I do not have the money for this." And then me looking over my finances and saying, "All right, Micah, Joseph, how committed are we to doing this?" And then you both saying, "Yeah, we're committed. We'll follow you all the way." I'm me being saying, "Okay, cool." And then me working the behind the scene magic of procuring money legally, by the way.
Not magic.
not magic. Most definitely not magic. I wish it was magic sometimes. And saying, "Okay, cool." And then just starts, essentially getting the gear we need, getting the studio, and again trying to get the students and the advertisements, the business cards. Like everything costs me money
Mhm.
in some shape or form.
Right.
And then just the amount of work, like we were talking about last time, with leadership putting into getting everything set up. Like remember like when we got the building, the very day we got, like, I put down the first payment, the deposit and the first month of rent and utilities. Me and Micah went to Menards and I spent even more money on paint and supplies to get everything ready. And then the very next day, getting the keys to the building and then walking in here saying, "Cool, I gotta now patch up all the walls and then paint, or prime and then paint." And this is going to take at least 20 hours to do because there was just so much to do.
Are you a painter?
No, I am not a painter.
So it's going to
Look-
require you to do things that you are like not a professional at. I mean, like you're not. You know what I mean? Like,
No, 100%. And like the walls look okay.
Yeah.
They're not great,
it works.
but I was short on cash. So I was like, okay, I either got to spend a lot of money, get something done professionally, or I am going to do my best. And hopefully it turns out. And it turned out good. I'm happy with it. It could do with another, coat down the line. But I mean, it was either spend more money on a painter or do it myself. But luckily, like I had you, Jenna, Micah, and Micah's girlfriend, and then my other time girlfriend painting. So, and then Melanie. I should probably specify that my girlfriend is now my fiance. Thank you.
Speaking of commitment,
I know, right? Well, we'll talk about that kind of in a little bit. Man, because she'll probably listen to this video, and I'll hear about it later. And I might need some luck. Anyways, but going back into the painting stuff, right? And I had like all of you guys come help me, right? But as you guys know, like I sent you guys away, like I think I started painting at noon. Oh no, I started patching up the walls at noon. I didn't get done patching all the walls and stuff like that until around 4 p.m. And that's when you guys showed up, and I was like, "Cool, guys, let's prime." So we spent the next, 6 hours priming the walls. And then you were exhausted because you had just gone off from work, and Micah had, I think, work in the morning.
Yeah, I didn't stick around the whole time.
You had something to do the next day.
this all happened in August, right?
Yeah, August or September, one of those two.
Yeah, I was still working in security with you, so I had like the morning shift the day out.
Yeah,
next
so
day.
so you had work. So I think I sent you guys home or away at what was maybe like 10 p.m. So at that time I had worked from essentially was noon to 10 p.m. And then I sent you guys home, and then I stayed back and can put on the first layer of paint on both sides, and then put the paint on what is our entrance and our office wall, and then proceeded to patch up while all the paint and stuff dried, patch up my office, and then prime it, and then put on the second layer of paint on all sides, and then go inside of my office, and then put on the next layer of paint. I didn't leave this building till 8 a.m. the next day. So I stayed from noon to 8 a.m. just getting this building primed and painted. And it would take me much longer if you guys didn't come by like for those 6 hours to help me prime. It would take me even longer.
That was costing you days, hours, sleep.
Yeah, it was. And then the very next day, there was a giant storm
Oh,
that caused some.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was a giant storm that potentially wrecked some property on our parents' house or garage. And then I spent the very next day, right after I'm done doing this for essentially what was, I don't even know how much time that was, from noon to 8 a.m. The very next day, I am now cutting away trees and moving giant logs out of the way for essentially what it was like. I don't even know how long. It was like I was doing that from 6 a.m. till I had work that day too. So I had work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because it was a 12-hour shift that day. So I went from 6 a.m. to the next morning 6 a.m.
It took like 5 or 6 days just to get the power back on.
Yeah, it was a bad storm. So those in Belvedere who remember that, yeah, I had spent essentially like all the day before just painting. My arms were killing me, and then the very next day, I am clearing away fallen tree limbs. And yeah, it was a very rough day for me. And that was probably like, and this is like what, day 3 or no, day 2 of us getting the building and just starting it. And I am now like exhausted beyond belief. So that was like right at the very get go. I was like, this was a bad idea. I'm physically like just gone.
Still push through it.
I did, but I had both you and Micah to motivate me to get things rolling, keep going, even though I was tired. So, yeah, that was a struggle right off the bat. Talking about commitment.
Sweet. Melanie, can we have the next question?
Does your daily actions reflect your goals?
Okay, so what are our daily actions reflecting goals? Oh man, my days are different. I think about our schedule, but there are some days where okay, I'm not taking every single day. I like to take at least one day a week to rest. But besides taking one day a week to rest, every day is a strive for something, whether it's showing up to work and just remembering, yes, I'm committed to, providing. Um, but one extra thing that I've been doing is just trying to remember to stay on top of my workouts as well. And there have been at least 2 days this week where I thought to myself, man, I forgot to work out. And instead of just going, well, whatever, there's always tomorrow, I at least did 10 push-ups. I did 10 push-ups so I can say, look, I did this minuscule workout. To me, 10 push-ups is an extremely minuscule workout. But it's something I took the time to think, man, I should work out today. And then I took the next 30 seconds to just do that before I continued cleaning, because that's what I was doing at the time. I was doing my laundry, and I didn't want to do my laundry. I wanted to do anything else but my laundry. Yeah, every day show up to work. I'm trying to come here more every day too. I can't make it to the studio every day, but I am slowly but surely working towards that.
Yeah, but you make it here on the days that you are teaching, though.
True.
So, like, any extra days is just extra training for you in the long run of you trying to get to that black belt by 2027 or 2028.
Right. So with those goals, every day, I mean, I don't work on Taekwondo every day, but I'm working on it when I can. Um, one thing that I do every day are the commitments to my relationships with my wife and with my creator. So I spend time talking to God every day. I do that every day, and obviously I'm not perfect because there have been days I have forgotten, and that's not fun. And just like an earthly relationship, I mean, if you take the second to avoid someone for a little bit, that relationship is probably going to go it's going to go down. So I take the time every day on the weeks that I have my son, after I put him down to bed, as soon as he goes down, I check up on my wife. I say, how you doing? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? Do you want to do something together? And I've basically done that consistently every day by 8:30, because that's usually just how the routine goes, and that's PM. So it's like I've tried to take care of my job, I've tried to take care of myself, I've tried to take care of my students, I've tried to take care of my son, and at the end of the day, when I'm exhausted, I just want to lay down, I just want to relax for the rest of the time, I'm like, wait, I can't forget my love. You need anything? And most of the time, she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm fine. Let me go back to crocheting, because she does that now. But sometimes she's like, yeah, can we just please snuggle and like watch a movie? Because I really need that right now. It's like, yes. And there are some days where I ask and I say, babe, you need anything? And I really hope she says no. I really hope she says no, because I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do more. I feel like I've already done so much. But there are days it's like, no, you ask anyway. Babe, is there anything I can do for you? She goes, yeah, do it. You do it and you commit to it. And it's always, always worth it. I've never, ever asked and been like, is there something I can do for you? Even though I wasn't necessarily in the mood to do something, and she said yes. She asked me if we could do this. And then after I was done doing whatever it is, fill in the blank, spending quality time together is usually what it is. There's not a single time where afterwards I went, oh, well, that was boring. That was a waste of time. I wish I hadn't done that. No. Every single time, it's always worth it. So, yeah. I'm sure I can probably think of more, but I'm going to go ahead and pass this one on to Master Micah.
The question again was our goals, everyday life reflecting upon our goals, right? Yeah. Yeah, I would say. Wait, can you do the question again?
Does your goals daily? Sorry, I was reading another one. Does your daily actions reflect your goals?
Yeah, I would say so. So, little background with training through Taekwondo. Yes, when you think training through martial arts, you think it's just physicality. Our grandmaster also went through a little bit of the mentality side of things. One big thing she always taught was, the half glass full, half empty analogy, right? How would you see that?
Empty.
Half empty or half full?
What's half empty and what's half full?
A glass of water.
A glass of water.
How would you just see it? Don't think. Just say. What do you see it as? Half full, half empty.
I would probably go with half full.
Half full. That's basically her analogy of how she taught. Having a bad day, a little bit of good happened. Hey, it's a good day. Students having a bad day, you having a good day. Student's going to have a good day. Student has a good day, you have a bad day. Who's going to have a bad day?
Student.
The student. energy that happens at the martial arts school kind of goes back and forth. It's like the whole math thing. Positive and positive is a positive. Negative, negative's negative. Positive and negative makes a.
I wasn't good at math.
Oh boy, we can see.
Negative.
We,
Is that
Oh.
negative?
it's supposed to be a negative. Yep. If you have
But
neg-
there's an energy that like if someone like again if someone's mood can really it's contagious.
oh, 100% is.
Yeah, but
I've
it's the
seen
instructor
it.
who controls the mood, though.
Oh, it is, and just not even just here. Like also that's where I work. A lot of the people there aren't morning people. I'll say that. They will sound like zombies. I get there and just like, hey guys, what do you want me to do? They're like, you can do this. I'm like, okay, got it. 2 hours later, it's like 5 a.m. I'm like, good morning, how are we doing today? And everyone's just looking at me like, hey Micah, are you okay? And they're like, I'm like, yeah. Why? Like, you're just so happy all the time. I'm like, I just like being happy. And they're like, okay. And for the most part, it just brightens their mood up also. I've like I think it was last Saturday I picked up an extra shift because they needed help. Everyone's mood there, even at night, it wasn't the best. But after like an hour or two of me being there, everyone's mood just brightens up. So yeah, I would say that because a goal I have is just like I don't want to be a negative person, you know, because especially in the world we live in today, there's going to be a lot of negative people, as you've all probably seen.
Oh, I know.
It's easy to be negative in the negative world. Every small good action will do a lot. Might not be obvious, might not happen to everyone, but hey, you never know unless you try, right?
Mm.
So that's what I try doing. I always try just having a positive, happy energy. And for the most part, it actually benefits. It's funny because that day actually our manager got a call from a customer and they're like, hey, I was just here 10 minutes ago. She looks at me and I'm like, oh, did I say something? Or like, did I say something wrong? And she's like, yeah, what happened? You know, well, I went through drive-through. I just want to say that guy had amazing energy and I loved it. And I'm like, she's like, oh, did he? And I don't hear her, by the way. I just hear the manager going saying, oh, did he? I'm just like, oh, oh, what did I do? So, do I have all the customers say that? No, but they've most likely a lot of them feel that way. That one called, it gave me a heart attack. But then she was like, hey, Everin, just so you know, we had a customer call, and I'm just like, ugh. And they were saying that Micah had good energy. I'm like, oh, oh,
Thank God.
thank God indeed.
Yeah.
Because, well, yeah. So I would say yes. My everyday life does kind of tie in and follow the goals I want.
I wouldn't say like mine following as easily as your guys's, and maybe just because like how I just am, I like my personality. I try to be positive in most things, like when it's not related to me. If that makes sense.
It does.
Like I'm very positive for other people.
It's really easy to look at some other people's lives and like point things out very easy. For me, it's hard to look at myself sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, like just like for instance with Micah's thing, right? Like I already know you're a very positive person, that you try to follow your goals to the best of your ability, right? Something that's I am most definitely very jealous of you for, right? Right, and then same thing with you, Joseph, right? And everything like just like I see your attitude, I just see how like energy you bring into like the school and just into the business, and then I do my best, but like when I go to my job. Like I think I tell him like every night before I go to bed, like not to go to bed, but before I go to my job while he's going to bed, that like I don't want to go to work. Man, I don't want. I don't want to go. I'm like, man, I like working. And trust me, I love working. But when I'm like about to go to my other job, it's just not where I want to be. I want to be here with my business and just doing everything that comes into running it and just growing us as what will soon hopefully be a company and with more students. And when I get to my job, everything's going good, and maybe just the type of work I do, but there's always something going wrong. We're either short staffed, and me being in management, right? It's just like I had to put on a good face and just try to be consistent with like my attitude. But like inside here, it's just like, man, things could be better. I could go to a different job, try to make more money. And I do enjoy my job. Trust me, I do enjoy it. I do like my job, but like more days than not, I walk inside like my office. I'm like, man, I'd rather be home.
Always have those moments. Always have those days. I have a lot of those.
Yeah, no, like in just like the new year, right? And what says January 17th?
Yes.
Yeah, January 17th. In more days, in the past 17 days of this new year, I've been more like, I want to be home than here. And the nice thing, well, the thing is also like I don't really interact with like customers as much at my other job, like at my other job, versus I'm not sure like you have more coworkers, but and then with you doing more customer service based, I'm more by myself managing a team. I try to stay positive with my team, try to keep them motivated, but it's tricky, right? Just with the way it is.
People are
Yeah,
tricky.
just people. But I try to put a good face. I try to show up for my guards when they need, right? Like one of my guards needed some extra support outside of work, and I took time on my, me coming home and resting to show up. And then this upcoming weekend, the next 10 weeks, one of the other leads needs to have his days off. So I am switching in the middle of my week from nights to days back to nights. In the middle. So it will be interesting how my body reacts to switching up my sleep schedule for 10 weeks.
Yeah, it's not fun. I'll tell you that much.
Oh no, trust me, I know it's not fun, but like another thing is like I think like my mood changes because of just like my sleep schedule. So, but hopefully once I can get back into a regular sleep schedule, maybe my mood will brighten up a little bit. But we'll see.
Well, would it be because like I kind of want to piggyback off that for a little bit before I go to the next one, because every single day is different. Every single day is different, but every day I try and go into work with my head up. I try and go into work with a good attitude, and sometimes what happens that day, I'm not going to say it's impossible because I think it's always possible to maintain a good attitude. But there are certain days that are different and it makes it really difficult. But as long as you're still showing up every single day consistently trying to go, okay, today's a new day. It's a fresh day. Let's do this. You do that every day despite the fact that how difficult it is, you'll make it. Melanie.
Question.
Oh yeah.
One more question.
Sure.
Melanie.
Last one?
Yep, last one.
Pick and choose.
Yeah, pick and choose.
Did you look at that list?
I read a couple, but
Which one do you want to hear, Melanie?
Which whenever you think is the best. We're pressuring her.
We are pressuring her, but luckily she's not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Well, turns it around.
Someone turn the camera quickly.
To be fair though, while she's doing that, I'll say this job, if you have two jobs and one of them is like really awesome and one of them maybe you don't feel like is that fun, that good job sometimes is so good at when you go to that other one, it's like, oh, man, this one's not as good as the other one.
I think that's my problem. It's like I love this. Like I really love this. And then like I love working private security, right? And it's like honestly, it's like I do like it. It's a great job. But then it's like, okay, I could be using like these 8 hours just to be here and making more plans and putting more things into motion. But then I'm stuck walking around a building, an empty building, on graveyard shift with people who also don't want to be there, right? And it's my job to tell them like, hey, we gotta be happy to be here. But like I try to make it fun for my guards. Like I do try to make it fun for my guards by like trying to just be honest with them and be like, hey, you guys don't want to be here? I don't want to be here either. But look, we're getting paid. We gotta do things this way.
Just shove me in the bag one day, take me with you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I know it's feeling bad. I brought us something today.
Yeah.
It's a mini me.
Actually, some people, because like Michael used to work with me in private security, and some of the people actually we were just talking about you a couple days ago.
Boy.
No, they were just saying, why don't you come back to work security
But
with
see,
us?
that's the weird thing because y'all didn't contact me.
Yeah, my company went through a switch in companies essentially. Like the contract that we had switched over to a different company, and they took on essentially what was 15 of us out of like the 30 or 40 of us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then they just replaced them with all new people. But that's a different story for a different time. Michael, however, was not one of the people they took, and I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. But yeah, he's happy at Starbucks, kind of.
You got this, Melanie? You got one?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
How do you respond when commitment becomes uncomfortable?
Okay, so the question is, how do we respond when commitment becomes uncomfortable?
You want it?
I think I touched on this before when I was talking about like our first day after painting and the tree and just the long work days for me where everything was just uncomfortable. I was tired, anxiety was hitting very hard, and stress was hitting very hard. And man, I thought about quitting like I think mainly like right after like that first week of us doing everything. Because it was like, okay, I worked essentially in second or third shift, and then everything that I need to do is all happening in the morning. So I'm not sleeping until I get everything done, or else I'm basically wasting money. And I was like, I don't know how much more of this I can do. And because it wasn't like where it's like my, as you know, like my Fridays and Saturdays kind of merged into one day, but this was like every day was merged into one day. Or I think I mentioned last week, it was like I was sleeping for like maybe 2-3 hours, and it was difficult. I was mentally drained, but I knew that, okay, I got the meeting coming up with you guys and the team, and I just needed to be able to say, hey, just steadfast, and just to say like, hey, look, guys, we're doing great, even though I'm like laying here going like, like you guys remember, you guys would show up and I'd be like, we got this, guys, as I'm like falling asleep.
How you doing, Will? Amazing.
Amazing. I'm doing, yeah, exactly, right? But after essentially we got through all that, and I was able to kind of like right before we did our grand opening, just kind of take like that week where it's like, okay, I am just going to catch up on sleep. And then the grand opening happens, and then I don't sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's every week is a different challenge, but making through it.
Well, so when commitment becomes uncomfortable, I think one of the first thing that came to my mind when just thinking about how to answer this was honesty. I think honesty is important, and just like almost like accepting the fact that like, hey, all right, I didn't sign up for this. Or maybe it's not what you didn't sign up for, or maybe it's like, oh, I really wasn't expecting this right now. I really am not in the mood for this. It's important to just like be honest enough to be like, okay, yeah, this is some extra thing that has now come up, and it's throwing a wrench in it, and it's just kind of making me uncomfortable. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Remember like why. It's very important to remember why you are doing something. So this way, when the complications come, and when uncertainty comes, and when unmotivation comes, or fear or doubt come creeping in, because they come creeping in, it's very important to remember, why are we doing this? It's like, yes, keep your eyes on the goal. Keep your eyes on the prize. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have a prize, if you don't have that like, it's like, okay, yes, I want to get through this. But if you don't have a destination in mind throughout your journey, when those uncomfortable situations come, are you just gonna fall apart, or are you gonna get comfortable being uncomfortable? That's one of the things I like to tell my students when they break through level 1, level 2, level 3. Oh, when you get to level 4, guess what? This isn't a joke anymore. Like, you're not just doing cartwheels and roundoffs and handstands. Like, yeah, it's hard, but now you're doing flip flops. Okay. Now you're doing backflips. Like, this isn't a joke anymore. Suddenly, the student then has a moment where they go, oh my, this is like, he's already making me uncomfortable by making me work this hard and by making me stretch and by making me do all these workouts. Now he wants me to go upside down. Now I'm putting my head in danger. Like, yeah, you are. You're going upside down. Are you comfortable enough to go, okay, look, I've taken these steps. I have all these pads. We have this equipment. My instructor's helping me. Am I going to bail? It's like, no. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but you have to push through. You have to persevere. I mean, if now at the same time, if what's making you uncomfortable really, really is that bad to the point where it's no longer worth it, you should be honest enough to go, you know what? All these people here hate me. No one here even wants me here. Yeah, okay, I think I'll find a different job. All right, that might happen. But that's not the case. So when situations arise where it's like, oh, this is taking so long. No. You remember why we're doing this. It's going to take time. So, yeah, being honest, remembering, keeping your eyes on the prize. That's a key right there.
Agreed.
Who wants this?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm doing one now.
Well, I'll tell you what, speaking into a microphone in front of a camera is uncomfortable for me. Like, here's a perfect example of like me just not really being that comfortable because I'm not. I have confidence. I'm not the most confident person, but this is one of those things where it is commitment. I'm just talking, and all these people could be listening to what I'm saying, but I'm here and I'm doing it anyway. So yeah.
If it makes you still feeling better, we haven't gone past 50 views, and at least wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got about 7 people that who watch the videos. So, to our viewers, we thank you for making this far in the video, and thank you for watching this episode if you made it this far. Going back to you.
Yeah, probably honestly, what Joseph said, honesty, because what he was explaining, that kind of perfectly tied in with me, because as you know, you left me to teach all by myself at age 15, right?
Yeah.
15 or 16, you left me.
trained you really well.
You trained me well. You trained me, but yeah, remember, you would always just give me commands. You never had me take it on by myself.
Remember how we talked about last week? Being the middleman?
The way we trained even our other instructors was, hey, there's one head honcho. He gives commands to the 10 others. The 10 others know what to do if they're told, but by themselves, they don't know what to do. It was a big issue, and that's probably was my first time of being in an awkward position. Because then I had just me now in front telling the other 9 people what to do, and I didn't know what I was doing. It took me about like a month or 2 to figure out, okay, this is the routine I want. This is what you have to do, and you have to do. You're going to be partnered with that kid because I know you and that kid don't get along that well. It took me about 2 months to figure out all the secrets. After that, though, what you said with the whole honesty thing, you have to be honest with yourself and others. Otherwise, you're going to be put in awkward situations that you don't want to be in. After that 2-3 month period of you leaving, I kind of sheltered myself off from people. So I would just put on this happy face, and everyone would just know me as this amazing guy. Just like, not amazing, just a happy guy. Nothing's wrong with him. Micah,
Always got it together.
oh, he's got it. He's always having a good day. They're having a bad day. I'd be like, hey, you want to talk about it? They're like, nah, you wouldn't really understand. I'm like, oh, try me. Because 9 times out of 10, I would understand how a kid's feeling. Peer pressure, just like arguing with parents, the depression a little bit. Just no matter what the student was feeling, I'd be like, try me. I'm pretty sure I know how you feel. They're like, no, you're always happy. I'm like, no. Tell me what's going on. Yeah, ever since then, like I feel like maybe it's just because I haven't been put in another situation like that. But maybe there's just been small awkward situations since then. Maybe they were big, and I just don't acknowledge them as big awkward situations. I just see them as small. But whenever small awkward situations do happen, I'm just, it could be worse. Only thing that can make it more awkward is me. So let's make it awkward. Which I'll do that with people a lot.
Yeah, and like just to piggyback off what you said, like imagine how it was like when I started teaching. Cause I only had
You had only.
I had
yeah.
Grandmaster Young, and she was very influential on our lives, right? To the point where we own a martial arts school. But remember, like I was younger than you.
That fish out of the water.
Yeah, I was 13 when I started teaching, and man, going through puberty and teaching
Oh,
was the worst. 'Cause
Testing days. People
we'd
are
be
just-
like yelling at like the top of our lungs, and my voice would crack.
Oh.
So I'd be like, run down and back, versus like just keeping like the same tone.
Worst part was testing days when you're being videoed.
Oh yeah, there's most definitely videos of me like my voice
Oh,
cracking as
same.
like I'm giving commands, and then just like the idea of like okay, trying to lead what was Micah and how many other instructors did we have?
No, it was like Josh, Andres, and like some others, but like that was the main force right there.
So we had like 5 other people besides me, and me trying to essentially go from like what I was telling you before, like last week, of just I listen to the command and I give it out. Like Micah learned in like what you said, like 3 months,
2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months. I had like 2 weeks because for one, like it was tricky being 13 years old and trying to essentially try to be an adult to kids my own age and then kids older, or essentially what were adults. Yeah, adults, and then tiny tigers who were little kids, and being like, okay, who's going to look at me and say like I know what I'm doing? Luckily, I had the confidence of a 13-year-old of saying, oh yeah, I got this. Right? But then like before doing it, like, right, the confidence was just like being like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I can do this 100%. And then being in the middle of it and being like, how do I touch my toes, basically? Right? Like, but it was a good experience overall. And it's like great for learning because you learn a lot about yourself when people are staring at you and thinking that you know everything. And then you being like, do I know everything?
Being put on the spot.
And it's crazy is like we learn how to do everything when it comes to instructing, but like Micah said, it's a very big difference of being told what to do and then just doing it, and then taking it upon yourself to then make a plan and then follow through with it. So yeah, I get it. Like it's tricky, and just trying to stick with that. Like I remember, and another thing about me, like when me and Micah first joined Taekwondo, I didn't want to do Taekwondo.
I dragged him here every day.
Yeah, Micah's the one who wanted to do Taekwondo.
You were committed to bringing him.
Yeah.
And I was committed to not going. Clearly, my commitment didn't work among the two, right? So I remember, and it took me like at least 2 years before I actually started liking what I did. So
Start bossing people.
no, that was year 3.
No.
Was it?
We got black belt in 2 years.
He then found his true calling.
I found my true calling, being in charge. But even then, like learning how to teach was a struggle too, because I was like, I finally got good at like learning how to do the movements from people telling me what to do, and now I got to learn how to be in charge of everybody.
Just thinking Poe trains the Dragon Warriors.
Yeah,
Like,
I
the
was.
Fierce
Poe was
Five,
like Kung Fu Panda, like one of our very first videos on our podcast / YouTube. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I related heavily to that.
That's how it was to teach it.
Yeah, it was like I don't know what I'm doing, but
We'll see what happens.
we'll see what happens.
Hmm.
So like, you learn how to do timing, how students act, how people are, and it gave like us both great skills to how things work and how we act as now adults. Like, it's crazy how what we do as kids, already until now as adults, right? But yeah, so Micah, me leaving and then Micah trying to take over and being like, okay. Also, it's tricky because like you watch how other instructors are and you're like, I want to be just like them, and then when you're doing, you're like, I cannot be just like them. You're trying to find your own way. Like,
Find your own way.
like you've seen me and Micah teach,
Very different.
very different. Like you've seen us teach your kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're starkly different the way we teach, and they both have their pros and cons to it. But
There's more than just one way of doing something.
oh,
There's-
exactly.
Like, I try and tell that to my students when I'm giving them instructions, and even now that I'm trying bringing them up into leadership abilities, is just like understanding that my way is just a way. It's not the way. There are so many different ways of tackling this, but yeah, committing to them in that way. It's like, hey, look, yes, here's an example, but you're gonna have to figure out how this is gonna work for you, because you are not me. We've both been created differently. We look differently. We act differently. We have completely different minds, completely different bodies. So, I mean,
Yeah. Well, no, I fully agree. And it worked out in our benefit, the fact that we both have different ways of doing things and teaching and instructing and all that. And it worked out in the best run. It worked out in the best, timing of things. Just the fact that I know how Mike acts, Mike knows how I act, and we just work really well together. And the fact that what his strengths are things I'm not good at, and things that he's not good at, I'm good at. To the point where we can do this. So, anything else to add?
One thing that I want to add before I give my last touch is just the fact, because you guys mentioned Kung Fu Panda again, and the fact that they tried to get him to quit.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they were like, he'll be gone by morning. They literally said that, like, yep, he'll be gone by morning, and he did not. He did not quit. He pushed through. Also, I'm going to say that I am committing to growing out my beard now. So that's a thing that I'm doing now. So, yeah, I might not cut it this year, but we'll see.
We can make a collage of podcast clips of your beard.
I better see that thing almost like those Chinese beards.
Oh, like just like down like.
Yeah.
Well, I figured since I'm going to be helping teach martial arts now, I was like, maybe I should probably grow this out a little bit.
You going to grow out the black belt beard before you have the black belt?
He says pre-order.
Yeah, I'm working on them both.
Okay, fair enough. Well, your progression martial arts will be with the extent of your beard.
We're
When
good?
it's down to your stomach, you'll be a black belt.
You good, Micah?
I'm amazing.
You good, Will?
I have one more thing.
Okay.
Just with the ending clip about, or ending our podcast on what is commitment, right? We're human, all three of us, and this podcast really is just documenting how we feel about things, and then hopefully when we redo like some of the things, what is commitment, what is leadership, what is the other things we're going to talk about in the future, we'll just show how we've grown inside of this business and just growing as people, right? And that ultimately when it comes to commitment, just not giving up, right? We've all had multiple options to giving up in either things in the business or in our lives, but continue to stick through it. So let's keep going, gentlemen, and see where it takes us.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please take advantage of the tabs. Hit the like button. Give us a comment. Let us know what you're trying to commit to. If you have any questions about the things that we talked about and we didn't answer fully, let us know in the comments so this way we can try and answer those questions. If you need more tips on how to commit, just driving up the motivation to commit to something, or maybe if you're struggling to commit to something,
I'm joining our school.
yeah, we can help you guys with that. Y'all are awesome. Thank you, and good night.